Hello, welcome, Marlene here. It's that time of the year once again. It seems like it was Christmas yesterday. Anywho, so today I'm using one of my gifts from last year, my Silhouette personal cutter. I love cutting my own stencils. I designed this guy for you guys to easily put together some Santa cookies this Christmas. You'll find the downloadable file on my Etsy shop. The stencil can be used to either get your guidelines on the surface of the cookie so that you know exactly where to pipe to decorate the cookie, or you can use the stencil as a paint a cookie. You can stencil that first kind of layer in kind of a gray royal icing, and then the kids can come in and paint Santa, or you can do it in the way I'm going to be demonstrating from beginning to end, decorating the whole cookie design with stencils and being able to work quite quickly. If during Christmas you're trying to maximize your revenue, maybe you want to bring in some help, but the people aren't necessarily super skilled cookie decorators, they can certainly assist you in this process. So let's get going on the tutorial. If you watch my videos and you've been following me, you know I love my airbrush, and I've bought a few different units over the years, and this is my current favorite. I picked this up on AliExpress and I found it now on eBay. I'll have the link for you. As you can see here, the hose is, you know, like that material kind of coated hose, so I really like it's not that cheap rubber hose. It came with a really nice airbrush gun. You have the little cup here. It's gravity fed, so gravity pulls it down through the nozzle here, and this compressor, the thing that I love about it here, I'm going to pull the trigger, it starts, I release the trigger, it stops. You're not constantly turning it on and off, it automatically does that itself, you see? And I love that. The noise of this compressor when they're going just drives me crazy. I hate it. And so I really, really love this feature. I've been using it now for quite a few months. I've been meaning to make a video about it. And when I went to CookieCon, I was asked what I use, and this is it. It doesn't really have a brand or anything. It's very affordable. I think like $45 US, by far my favorite. So today we're decorating some Santa cookies with a stencil that I made. And let's get going on that. Here's my cookie. There's a dry surface icing on it, and I'm going to be decorating it with this stencil that I designed. You'll find the stencil file on my Etsy shop if you want to purchase it. The great thing about cutting your own stencils is when you want to use a stencil that you absolutely can't find, well, you can cut another, or you can cut several. The plastic that I get here costs like 60 cents Canadian, so you can cut several of them and not have to constantly be cleaning it, especially during the Christmas rush. I designed this Santa to be fast and still look hand decorated so that you can, you know, not lose that kind of handmade look of a cookie, of the decorated cookies. And so we're going to start with kind of the outline design on here. So the cookie doesn't fit in my holder, so I have to put it this way. And now, oh, my stencil's upside down. I can just position my lines on there, and you can just snap that. And I'm not using black. I find black is very harsh. I'm using a color called Gunmetal by Americolor. They came out with it not that long ago. When I decorate with my airbrush, I like to use, I like to work on a paper towel. Here's my first stencil, and I've centered it on the cookie, and I'm working in, it's called Gunmetal. And I'm just doing the whole thing here. I'm just creating all my lines for the whole Santa. There we go. And you can maybe darken up the eyes, but if you want, you see elements like the eyes, you can come in and pipe to give it a more kind of handmade look. Let's lift that off, and you can see he's got little kind of crinkles in his eyes. You can obviously use this to make a paint a cookie. Now I suggest that you crank out all the same color. So again, I'm lining it up on my next cookie. I'm positioning my second stencil, the second layer, and I'm lining up the eyebrows for placement. And I'm just anchoring it in position with the stencil holder, and I'm going to hit the perimeter of the beard, I should say, hitting the edge of the beard all around. And then I'm going to hit right under the mustache here. The light pass for a little bit of color, and that's it. And there he is. And now moving the stencil once again. This time we're doing the face and the hat. So I'm lining up the elements to hide and protect the rest of the cookie. Santa is ready for the face and the hat. I've got the red in my airbrush gun. I'm protecting the rest of the cookie here, and I'm just airbrushing the hat, a light pass on the hat, and then I'm gonna come in and darken the perimeter. Like so. There we have it. And now I can come in his nose. I've got this little section here for his nose, so I can shield the rest of the face, and I'm able to kind of come in and create a bit of a darker top on his nose using the kind of shield here. Like so, you see? So it allows that. And then I can come in and protect the cookie. You want to protect the beard here, down here. And I'm just doing a whole pass over everything on the face. A light pass. On the side, darkening it up. There. Okay, the final stenciled area is in royal icing, just to kind of give the cookie a little bit of relief. And I'm positioning the stencil. You can see here it's the eyebrows, the mustache, and kind of the lines on top of the gray lines on the beard. So partially we'll be exposing the gray lines, but it's to create some shading underneath the relief stencil area. So it's kind of like the dark gray is peeking out from underneath the kind of hair. And I've got some white icing, and I'm going to stencil my little face detail and the beard. There we go. Let's lift that off. And you can see it hides part of the gray that was on the beard. You're creating the mustache, adding a bit of relief to the beard area, all in one fell swoop. Now the cookies could be done like this, but if you want to just finish them off and give them that little extra, you can do that with a little bit of stiff icing and a few little sprinkles. So I'm just adding a pom-pom, a star tip, and a back and forth motion. You can have somebody that's not that experienced doing this. It's really not complicated. They stay within the guidelines there. And then you can pop on your holly, or a little star if you have. And there is the completed cookie. So you have the relief from the kind of royal icing stencil, the little trim, and they look quite decorated even though they were put together quite quickly. And here is my completed platter of Santa cookies. There are cookie cutters that I constantly gravitate towards. This is one of them. Wilton made this Santa shape. I don't know if it's still available, but boy, do I love it. It's just a great gift size, a favor size cookie. And it just is so versatile. You can make all sorts of Santas, a more realistic, a more cartoony, whatever kind of style you want to do, you can get on there. You have so much room to work. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this cookie design. Not so much, you know, the design per se, but the process. I love the idea of being able to mass produce. Christmas is the time for decorated cookies and the opportunity to make some money. And so with the stencil, you can really crank them out. And the great thing about cutting your own is you can cut multiple stencils for each design and not waste too much time cleaning the stencils, especially with the beard relief area. That tends to get clogged with royal icing. So if you can cut, let's say 3 or 4, and you can just kind of work quickly one after the other, you're not constantly at the sink. It's worth the whatever, like 50 cents for the piece of plastic. If you think about the cost of cutting your own stencils versus buying your stencils, you're back in the money very quickly for the cost of your actual personal cutter. So I hope you enjoyed the video, that I've inspired you to kind of work a little bit differently this Christmas. And if you want to purchase this stencil, this cut your own stencil file, you'll find it in my Etsy shop. The link is in the description box. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future uploads, and I'll see you next time.